Welcome to this explainer. Today we are diving into a truly landmark 2019 Japanese television series that just brilliantly blends high-stakes melodrama with the elite, fiercely cutthroat world of Michelin-starred gastronomy. If you're a focused learner wanting to unpack exactly how the intense, grueling pursuit of perfection actually translates to the screen, well, you're in the exact right place. We are looking at La Grande Maison Tokyo. To really grasp the weight of this series, we have to start with this one massive question. Imagine this for a second. You are at the absolute pinnacle of the culinary world. You're Natsuki Obana, this incredibly confident, visionary chef holding 2 Michelin stars at your restaurant in Paris. And then, during a highly sensitive diplomatic luncheon, a French official goes into acute anaphylactic shock. The culprit? Nut contamination. Suddenly, it's a full-blown international incident. In the ensuing chaos, Obana literally physically clashes with a bureaucrat. He gets arrested, his restaurant shuts down, and his entire team is scattered to the wind. In a single afternoon, a genius chef loses everything. It's the ultimate high-stakes setup for a redemption story.
So, here is our tasting menu for today's explainer. First up, Course 1, The Fall of a Chef. Then, Course 2, Assembling the Brigade. Next is Course 3, Fiction meets Michelin Reality. After that, Course 4, Expanding the Universe. And finally, Legacy and Impact. Let's get right into it.
Course 1, The Fall of a Chef, a bitter appetizer.
Following that disastrous luncheon we just talked about, Obana isn't just fired, right? He is totally exiled. This is a guy who previously trained at the prestigious 3-star L'Ambroisie in Paris, but with the closure of his own place, Escoffier, he becomes a total pariah, literally dubbed the shame of Japan. Obana spends 3 grueling years in professional ruin, just working odd jobs, dragging around this heavy reputation for having a volatile temper. His career is, for all intents and purposes, completely shattered.
But here is where the show brilliantly flips the tired, lone genius trope completely on its head. While he's in exile, Obana meets Rinko Hayami. Now, Rinko is a chef with this absolute, highly refined palate, but she actually just failed an audition because she lacked, well, creative audacity. By themselves, they're both incomplete, so Obana proposes a crazy alliance. He brings his volatile creative genius, and she brings her mature determination, her financial agency, and that incredible palate. Together, they form this unstoppable partnership with one very clear goal: open a new restaurant in Tokyo and win 3 Michelin stars.
Course 2, Assembling the Brigade, the complex main course.
This quote right here perfectly captures the core philosophy of the whole series. The show's director actually compared the narrative structure to Akira Kurosawa's 7 Samurai. Obana's true goal, it isn't just to cook magnificent food, it's to empower a community to achieve greatness together. He basically has to recruit his former colleagues, who, by the way, initially totally reject him, and train a brigade so incredibly perfect that the restaurant could actually function at a 3-star level entirely without him.
And when you look at this brigade, every single character represents a vital operational arm of a real elite restaurant. Rinko is the chef de cuisine, providing the ethical and financial backbone. You've got Kyono as the maitre d', translating that intense kitchen vision out onto the dining room floor. Aizawa manages the hors d'oeuvres, all while balancing being a single dad. And Hirako, he brings this incredible precision, but he's harboring deep, deep guilt over his own accidental role in that Parisian allergen incident that kicked this whole thing off. They take all their personal flaws and specialized skills and blend them into a perfect recipe for a Michelin-starred team.
Course 3, Fiction meets Michelin Reality, the ingredients of realism.
Now, to make this pursuit of 3 stars actually believable, the production team went all out and completely blurred the lines between fiction and reality. They didn't just invent pretty dishes for the camera. No, they brought in chef Shuzo Kushida from the real-world Shinagawa restaurant Quintessence to design the show's stunning menu. For some context, Quintessence is a legendary establishment. They've maintained a 3-star Michelin rating for over 18 consecutive years. This collaboration brought an immense amount of gastronomic weight to the screen.
And their dedication to physical realism? Absolutely next level. There are no simulated, fake kitchen environments on this set. They used heavy-duty professional hardware from Fujima Corporation. The actors went through intense method training to perform actual culinary techniques themselves. In the pilot episode, lead actor Takuya Kimura actually prepped 16 portions of long-armed shrimp right there on camera. They even managed to secure historic filming rights inside the real 3-star L'Ambroisie in Paris. That was the very first time that prestigious establishment ever allowed a fictional camera crew inside. Just incredible.
The menu itself was built around Chef Kishida's real-life carte blanche concept, meaning a blank menu that totally prioritizes whatever seasonal ingredients are best that day. We see these exquisite creations brought to life, like a goat's milk bavarois, perfectly balanced with olive oil and sea salt, or a meringue ice cream that uses insanely complex temperature manipulation to highlight pure flavor profiles. The food you see wasn't just a bunch of plastic props. They were actual edible culinary masterpieces prepared with total precision.
Course 4. Expanding the Universe, a Global Palate. So, how did this story grow? Well, what started as a domestic tale of survival and redemption back in 2019 eventually exploded onto an international cinematic scale by 2024. And it did this by directly confronting the rapidly changing realities of the modern restaurant industry. The 2-hour 2024 television special drops our beloved characters right into a very realistic, very harsh post-COVID landscape. It tackles the systemic devastation of the food industry completely head-on. Just to survive the pandemic, Le Grand Maison Tokyo is forced to pivot to frozen meal distribution and online recipes. And this pivot, it ultimately costs them their Michelin stars. It's a really brilliant, tragic exploration of the tension between relentless corporate business metrics and the potential loss of artistic passion in high-end gastronomy. Then, the franchise culminates in the huge feature film Le Grande Maison Paris. This time around, the culinary supervision comes from Chef Kei Kobayashi, who is the real-world first Asian chef to ever win 3 stars in France. The stakes here are absolute. Obana vows to either win 3 stars in Paris or leave France forever. The whole narrative transforms from this story of personal redemption into a direct, high-stakes fight against Western cultural hegemony. It addresses very real issues of cultural displacement for Asian chefs trying to operate in traditional French culinary circles. Course 5. Legacy and Impact, the Sweet Dessert.
When it comes to impact, the numbers speak for themselves. The original show commanded a massive average viewership rating of 12.74% in the Kanto region alone. The final episode peaked even higher than that. And if you combine real-time and time-shift ratings, the show actually exceeded 20% viewership for every single episode. It completely captivated a massive domestic audience.
And the accolades absolutely poured in. It swept the 103rd Drama Academy Awards, winning Best Work, alongside major acting awards for Takiya Kimura and Yuta Tamamori. Across all sorts of online databases, viewers were constantly giving it perfect 10 out of 10 scores. Critics really praised it as J-drama comfort food. You know, unlike the grim, highly localized and super anxiety-inducing realism of Western kitchen dramas like FX's The Bear, La Grande Maison Tokyo operates on a grander, much more hopeful scale. It proves that hard work, genuine talent, and deep collaboration can conquer international incidents and corporate battles alike. Which really brings us to the core takeaway of this entire explainer. Le Grand Maison Tokyo isn't just a show about food. It is about the artistry, the grueling physical labor, and the collaborative spirit required to achieve the impossible. It proves that the lone genius is basically a myth, and that true, lasting perfection actually requires a brigade. So as you digest everything we've covered today, I want you to ask yourself, if true perfection is about empowering the community around you to succeed, what are you doing to earn your 3 stars in life? Thanks so much for learning with me today, and keep exploring.